Hi, Misha here. It's night 4, Monday night. Pretty late now. The day started off pretty good. We got through the storms last night. We didn't have too much damage here, but neighboring towns had a lot of branches knocked down, some phone lines. Cell phone reception was kind of iffy today, here and there, but it's just how it goes. And the weather has cooled off quite a bit. Actually feels like fall. It's pretty sunny today. So yeah, started off, got up, made lunch, and the plan was to have a friend who's a contractor come over and kind of start work on a couple of remodeling projects for the living room. Also, the tile in one of our 2 bathrooms got cracked. We had a flood, which I'll maybe talk about in another video, but suffice it to say, part of that was some of the old tile cracked in the shower and was leaking, so starting to work on that, and then work on a storage building out in the back and do a little fence moving and repair work. Just little fun things you get to do when you're a homeowner. So he came by, we got that done, and then the plan was for Ian, who usually comes by and does the logging. Well, I do the logging out of the firearms, putting it in the bound book and all that. He reads the FFLs off to me, and then he fills out the labels for the mail, prints them out, and he also fills out the invoices, and put a packet on the gun, and he reads off the serial. We finish it up, and then typically he's here for 1 to 2 hours, and I've got a mess of guns to get out, and I spend my night packing to the wee hours in the morning. And that was my plan. Usually he stops by. He works at the post office during the day. He gets off work about 5:30 and is here about 6, sometimes a little earlier, which means from about 8 o'clock onward I am usually packing hot and heavy on Mondays. Mondays are always a pretty heavy day, but with the wife leaving a few days back, and the last time he came by Thursday night, neither of us were really feeling it. I was tired after getting the wife off, and he just wasn't quite in the zone, if you know what I mean. So we just did 3 or 4 real important ones, figuring, do more on Monday. Hadn't talked to him, but of course on Thursday, and we meet most every Monday, and he knows with my wife being gone. In fact, I had told him, a month in advance to make sure he'd be around the second half of October, not just for paperwork, but also if I need to go to the store or, whatnot, liquor store, but, get dinner. So the plan was him to come by, have him either pick up some dinner, go out and eat, whatever, do paperwork. Hadn't heard from him, no big deal. I usually call him around 4:35 to confirm, and so I called him today and said, yeah, we're obviously good for tonight, so I'll see you. And he goes, well, I got bad news. I called in to work today sick. I'm sick. And it's like, okay. So what do you think? And he was saying he's sick enough that he can't move, and I get that. I'm like, well, what about tomorrow night, Tuesday night? Well, I don't know. Okay. Now, normally, he's not one to call in sick too much. I think the last time he was really sick and had to cancel because of it was around last January. And, of course, then my wife can typically help. Even, again, if we can't get the whole bulk done, she can at least do 3 or 4 important ones to kind of get the most urgent customers' needs taken care of. But in this instant, I have no fallback. Which means tomorrow I'm gonna have to face some pissed off customers, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. So I am just really looking forward to that, I tell ya. I mean, to be fair, it's not Ian's fault he got sick. The only thing that a little bit irks me, he obviously called in to work sick. He knew all day he was sick. why didn't he email me or call me or otherwise give me a message just saying, hey, by the way, I'm sick, can't make it? Because I mean, all day I was planning on it, telling customers I'd get their stuff shipped out Tuesday, and drug all the guns out that needed processing, and, you know, just generally speaking, was planning on it, including dinner. So, yeah, I was rather hungry. Had to kind of last minute figure out something to eat. Finally ordered Pizza Hut because it's nearby, and I don't think I've had Pizza Hut in 2 years. We don't do a lot of that kind of eating out, to be fair. So yeah, an evening that I expected to be pretty busy and labor intensive on the positive end has been pretty relaxing. On the negative end, I've got a lot of work piling up, and I really pray to God that Ian feels better tomorrow, because if not, it's not going to be pretty. But again, what can you do? I did put up a notice in my email inbox, you know, one of those automated vacation or auto replies, letting people know that I would be on vacation and that we would still be shipping, but maybe a little bit slower than normal. So hopefully that at least saves a little bit of stress with people, but we shall see. Any of you who've ever worked in sales or customer service, you know what I mean. Sometimes the nicest people flip a switch and go batshit, and sometimes people that have been a little bit of a pain, you think you're going to make your life hell when you have to give them bad news, end up being the most understanding and straightforward people. So you just never know. I've been doing this job full-time 10 years, and I've run across just about every individual possible. Oh well. What else? Eagle Moss put some new Star Trek ships up on their website for pre-order. Shuttle Pack 6. I don't know when it comes out. I need to look. A few new ones, so that's neat. I went ahead and pre-ordered them. I haven't had a ship notice yet, but something to look forward to in the future. Not much new in the gun world. Grabbed a couple more Colts and SIGs today from a distributor. Also did those manure hen revolvers. Did a video on the main channel with the stainless one. Have some blued ones and have some ones with wood grips as well. Kind of neat. I like the French part. It's a fun revolver. It has a really nice feeling trigger to it. Just a very slick gun. Very smooth. But not a whole lot else going on in the gun world, unfortunately. Still hoping to get at least one more order of Colts before the end of the year. I mean, they tell me October, and to be fair, October is not over yet, but I don't know. Yeah, it seems like any company, not just firearms, the estimates are just that, and they're almost always late. Very few companies hit their target estimates, it feels like to me anyway. But c'est la vie. Cats are all fine, I suppose. They do cat things. And yeah, tomorrow I had another friend who helps me out, who was originally going to come by and take me and the packages to the post office and then take me to the bank to cash any checks that have come in the mail in the last few weeks, or a few days, sorry. Called me, went ahead. He's still going to come by tomorrow, but we made us do videos and photos since we didn't get those done tonight either. But no packages for him to ship. Just kind of throws my whole week schedule off. I don't like when that happens. I'm a very schedule person, and I really try to stick by my own schedule and try to be reliable to people. If I say I'm going to be somewhere or do something, I really try to do it, or at least communicate that I can't do it. Just kind of how I am. Kind of how I have to be, too, to be fair. When you don't drive, when you have to arrange things with people, it does kind of force you to schedule stuff. when we got married, my wife didn't drive either. She learned to drive and got her driver's license over here. For the first at least year, maybe 2 of our marriage, she didn't drive. That's back when we lived in a small town. So it was pretty easy to get rides or even just walk where you needed to be. Not where we live now, though. This would definitely not be a place you would want to walk, distance or traffic-wise. But she's been driving for a number of years. Chicken Alfredo pizza from Pizza Hut was good. As I said in a previous video, I'm allergic to tomatoes. Nothing horrible, but they tend to just give me heartburn and maybe a little bit of a bathroom visit if I eat too many. Especially sauces, real rich tomato sauces. So if I get the option, I tend to go for the cheese or butter or pesto-based pizzas. And I've always been a big fan of chicken. It's kind of always been my taste. A lot of people like beef, specifically steak. It's not my... I found a lot of steaks to be quite bland. Not every steak, but it really needs to be cooked and marinated right. But hey, we all have our own tastes. And that's about my Monday night news. Right now the computer is editing a video, and usually when that happens, my speech either slows down reading or just stops reading for 10-15 minutes. So it did that, and it felt like a good time to step outside on the porch for a minute and record this little video for you folks. So how's the first of your week going? On the one hand, I'm annoyed about mine being topsy-turvied and dreading customers. On the other hand, I don't think any of us kind of hates a slow, relaxing Monday night, do we? So, kind of just wish I had some beers or wine here. But it would have been probably a good night to do that. Oh well, maybe later in the week. Alrighty, folks. This is Misha, who survived the Catnado. And I will catch you very soon next time.